Welcome to Adas Israel in the Torah portion for this week. This week we start the third book of the Torah. You might know it as Leviticus, we call it Vayikra. And in Vayikra we begin to learn about all the offerings that God has commanded the Jews to bring to the altar.
So we've got these general rules, the elevation offerings, we've got flour offerings, the pan-baked offerings, peace offerings, sin offerings, lots and lots of offerings and rules.
And right in the middle of it all, we have this commandment, the covenant of the salt.
So 4 times in the 13th verse of the 2nd chapter of Vayikra, we're told about salt. Here's what it says. You shall salt your every meal offering with salt. You may not discontinue the salt of your God's covenant from upon your meal offering. On every offering you shall offer salt.
Salt? Well, because no single word is less important than another in the Torah, what is this whole thing of 3 times yet? The commandment of salt. What's that got to do with everything?
So think of your favorite recipe. You've got all these ingredients and you're mixing things up. Make sure that you put all the spices in and everything. And like any good chef, you taste it. But yet something isn't quite right. And then you remember, I forgot to add the salt.
So there you have it. Salt brings about a flavor. And when you think about it, kind of like when the recipe is being made and we're putting finally salt back in there and it tastes better, there's a correlation to the whole idea of the sacrifices or following the commandments in the Torah.
God, say the rabbis, is telling us that we need to wake up our observance. Simply going through the motions of being faithful without adding flavor, without adding salt, without adding action or understanding is simply going through the motions.
And salt is also a preservative. Maybe the Torah is telling us that we need to wake up our faith, to preserve our faith, our way of life, and the way that we treat others by adding something to it, adding action to what it is, the words that we read. Add a little salt to your life and spice it up and be kind to others. Thanks for watching and good Shabbos.